How's everyone doing tonight? I like this crowd. You have a good energy to you. Anyone here have any dogs? Dog people? No, it's okay if you're not. No, it's okay, but it's also okay to raise your hand. I can't see you. So my husband and I, we have a 17-year-old dog. Yes, thank you. He's a 10-pound Havanese named Dooley, and yes, he is a burden. And it's kind of hard, taking care of a geriatric dog. It has its own complications, but I would not trade in this time with Dooley for anything. Except maybe a younger dog. just putting out some feelers. Any takers? No? Okay. He still has most of his teeth. No? All right. Off to hospice care he goes. I'm kidding. I can't afford hospice care. No, he's actually very healthy. He just got all of his old dog blood work done. And if you have old dogs, then you know that it costs a lot more money for them to do the same exact blood work that they do with young dogs. And they really scare us. They're like, he could have all these things wrong with his kidney and his heart and his brain. And we're like, oh, that's so scary. This little bastard, his numbers are better than last year. Yeah. So, I didn't really plan for this, like, financially. He's living a lot longer than I expected. He's past his expiration date. And so, TikTok, Dooley. TikTok. He's actually very healthy, very spry, but he does have some old dog ailments. He's mostly blind and mostly deaf. So he is basically Helen Keller with fangs. And it makes it very difficult to communicate. And New York City will not pay for like a dog trainer to come in. I thought they would. I looked it up. I was like, wait, my dog is old and he's lived here his whole life. Maybe he gets some benefits. No, so we just had to miracle work our way through it. And so we've got some things down now, like I pat him on the butt when I want him to sit. And then I tap him on his cute little paw when I want him to shake. And then he bites me on my finger and he clamps down and doesn't let go and leaves a mark when he wants me to leave him the fuck alone. Sometimes it's also when he wants me to change the channel on the television. So we're really trying to figure that out. There's a few quirks. He sleeps a lot. Does anyone else have any dogs that sleep a lot? Because my dog sleeps like 12 hours a day. He's slowly becoming a cat. You'll see him sleeping so cute, and then you'll leave, maybe to do laundry, and then come back, and he's in the same exact position. And then I'm just looking at him, and I'm thinking, is he sleeping? Or is he dead? I don't want to poke him, to find out if he's still alive, because that's rude, and then he's awake, so then I have to deal with him. So I've learned from Murder, She Wrote, the best way to find out if someone is still alive is to use a mirror and just put it up next to their face and see if it fogs up the mirror. And I can also check and see if he has a reflection when I'm down there. Make sure he's not a vampire, because that's all I need. Geriatric, blind, deaf, vampire dog. No, thank you. I don't need that. He can't really walk very far with his arthritis and his blindness and his general sense of entitlement. So I have to carry him wherever he goes. And we have settled on a doggy Bjorn. He pretty much, it's a big piece of fabric that's like a never-ending, scarf, one of those infinity Bjorns. And he sits kind of nestled on my hip, and then the thing is bungee cord around my neck. And don't worry. It looks even gayer than it sounds. It's way gayer than it sounds. But he seems to like it, so I do it for him. It's tough because I grew up in Vermont, and you have like country dogs, and like a country dog, when it's their time to like pass on to glory, they will just wander off into the woods and they'll just pass away peacefully under a maple tree, with some goddamn dignity. And we bring Dooley to the park all the time. I mean, the trees are right there. It's like, go ahead. No? Not today, Doodlebug? Back in your Bjorn. God, city dogs. Am I right? Jesus. I don't really like it when people keep their animals alive too long. It's a little, I don't get upset with too much, but that's something I do not like because, there's people who say like, how long? How long is too long? And it's like, well, when your pet has been alive so long that they've learned to speak English, then I think it's time, because there's nothing creepier than an animal that can speak English except for them saying to you, whimpering, kill me. Use the embroidered pillow. It's got my picture on it. I just say, let them go. I didn't have that trouble. In Vermont, I grew up on a farm. We're all pretty comfortable with the circle of life. Animals passing away is just really kind of the way things went. And in my family, we knew that when an animal got too old, then one day we would have a really good dinner. And you know what? Possibly we have some amazing homemade glue. It just really depends on the animal. I'm not getting either of those things with Dooley. He does not have hooves, and he's small and old, so he'd probably be stringy and gamey. So, not a fan. But this is on a completely separate topic. Does anyone know a taxidermist that they'd like to recommend? No? Guess I'll just keep him. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.